Kids, today we will be learning about climate change and how it affects plants.
Plants! Why do we have to learn about that?
It's important.
I already carpool and recycle. I should be excused from class and or given an A. Thank you. Good night.
Louise, there is a lot to learn about climate change. First, we have to understand the greenhouse effect. Sunlight penetrates the gas layer of the atmosphere. It's partly absorbed and partly reflected. Small particles in the air ensure that a percentage of the reflected radiation is sent back to Earth, and that is how the temperature is regulated. However, humans have caused a lot of pollution by producing large amounts of carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. The small particles increase in number, and the result is an increase in reflected radiation. This heat is unable to escape, causing global temperatures to rise. And that is why a lot of species are dying, and so could you!
Attention, students! The tropical storm has changed course and has been upgraded to a hurricane. It could hit town at any moment. Don't worry, we have an emergency plan. It's called talking it through. Now, who here thinks the hurricane was caused by something bad they did? What about you, Nicholas? That thing you told me? In confidence? Say it.
I said Rubisco is efficient.
We're all gonna die because of you!
Good thing the storm cleared out.
I don't want to die because of climate change.
Relax. It won't happen for another 100 years.
No, I'm moping. I'm gonna take the long way home. Tell Mom I'm gonna be late for dinner. What was that?
Hello.
Who said that?
I did.
Are you a ghost? Because I'm a Ghostbuster, and a police officer, and a Sagittarius.
I am a research robot. I was created to survey the climate and record how it affects the Earth's vegetation. Understanding the influence of climate change on the evolution and distribution of the world's bioto is a major task in biology.
Cool.
An accurate estimation of how plants have responded to changes in the past may help us to better predict future responses to climate change.
Okay, but I'm already sensitive about climate change.
Well, it is important to understand the history of the Earth in order to comprehend the natural climatic cycle, and know how humans have altered it. For the past 4.5 billion years, changes in the Earth can be linked to changes in the chemical makeup of the climate system, including the composition of the atmosphere and the seasonal distribution. Using fossils and many geologic clues such as sedimentary erosions, geologists have been able to reconstruct aspects of Earth's climate going back hundreds of millions of years. The conditions on Earth in the first billion years were very different than what exists today. The sun was cooler, but the Earth was warmer due to the atmospheric composition, which was primarily made up of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane. Over time, the atmospheric composition was modified, in part due to the evolution of cyanobacteria 3.5 billion years ago. These photosynthetic bacteria produced oxygen as a metabolic byproduct. The oxygen released into the atmosphere by cyanobacteria resulted in the oxidation of the minerals on Earth's surface. Furthermore, the success of the cyanobacteria resulted in a large increase in the atmospheric oxygen concentration and also brought about the formation of an ozone layer in the stratosphere. The increased prevalence of atmospheric oxygen also resulted in the decrease in methane concentrations due to oxidation. Another driving force behind the climate changes in this period was the movement and breakup of land mass. These events caused continental weathering, which soaked up massive amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The abrupt decline in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere brought about a cooling effect and caused series of glaciations. After this cooling period, volcanoes, powered by the continuing motions of tectonic plates, spewed carbon dioxide back into the air. With so much land encased in ice, the gas was able to accumulate in the atmosphere, allowing the average global temperature to rise. This global warming gave rise to what is known as the Cambrian explosion. Warm, oxygen-enriched oceans proved to be a boon for the development of more complex life forms. These warming and glacial periods continued cycling for years, and the survival of organisms, including plants, depended on their ability to adapt to these changing conditions. Around 500 million years ago, the first land plants began to evolve and take over dry land. Since their evolution, plants have had to overcome the obstacles of the ever-changing environment. At first, they were secluded to water-rich areas, but as time went by and sea levels fell, plants had to adapt and evolve the means and structures to sustain and conduct water and nutrients. By producing a vascular system, plants were able to grow taller toward the light, deeper into the ground and further away from water sources. Millions of years later, plants started to grow seeds which allowed them to protect their young and move to even drier locations. Around 125 million years ago, flowering plants, known as angiosperms, evolved and took over the world. During this time the Earth was warmer from volcanic activities. A number of key innovations among angiosperms may have made them more drought-resistant and have a competitive advantage over other plants. Eventually the Earth grew colder and drier and grasses started to appear. The drier air causes numerous fires, but the apical meristem, where stem cells are located, were low enough that the plant could regrow, giving grasses the upper hand over other plants.
Wow, plants are old.
Yes, they are.
I know.
I know you know, I just told you.
This toilet is great.
Yes. And that is why Dana does not eat cheese.
Whew, wow, you sure know everything. You're the best. Okay, see ya.
Goodbye, Jean.
Hey, little man. Huh? A little bird told me you might have seen something I'm looking for. A toilet.
Where is it?
It's just a little bit further, and it's amazing.
Is it one of those really tall rice plants?
Or a great math teacher like can stand and deliver.
I present to you, voila.
Hello.
What the hell?
Are you guys here to learn about plant too?
I'm always down to learn about plants.
Okay, take a seat.
Hi.
And boom, my friend the toilet.
Wow, that is amazing.
What is even more impressive is how plants manage to adapt to the changing climate.
They are currently adapting?
Yes, they have been evolving and adapting to their environment for millions of years. Plants are now migrating to higher altitudes in search of colder climates due to global warming, but the predicted rate of climate change is much faster than the rate at which plants can migrate. Therefore, there is high risk of massive extinction. Landscape fragmentation caused by human activity is also making this migration even harder. Alpine plants in mountainous regions are an example of this migration. The calculated moving rate of plants is about 0 to 4 meters per decade. Evidence shows that C4 plants evolved from C3 plants in order to avoid photorespiration when there was a reduction of carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere during the Miocene epoch. Thus, a dramatic increase in carbon dioxide may induce another metabolic adaptation.
So many adaptations.
Say I love you, Tina.
I love you, Tina.
Say I love you, Tina. I'm not a toilet, I'm a boy.
No.
Oh.
Warning, a new hurricane is forming and will hit this location in 3 hours. I am not waterproof, so I will need to be moved to a safe zone.
Don't worry, we'll get you out of here. Adrenaline, do your thing.
There have been so many hurricanes recently. What is going on?
He mentioned earlier that there would be an increase in abnormal weather events due to climate change.
Where have you kids been? It's late.
Glee Club.
Key Club.
Key Club?
Oh, extracurriculars. I love that.
Well, well, well. If it isn't baby boy Belcher.
Ah!
Did you lose this somewhere?
Ah!
Kids, this guy's looking for a lost toilet. And he's not crazy. He's Max, sorry, I didn't catch your last name.
Flush.
Your name's Max Flush and you're looking for a toilet? That's funny.
Well, I'm still missing a toilet. I was delivering it, but it fell off my truck. My toilet's worth $14,000, so I'm gonna find it.
Okay, Mr. Flush, we'll let you know if we see it, and,
Okie dokie. I guess I'll just be on my way then.
Oh no!
We'll have to lay low for a while.
Okay, Operation Capture the Throne is go.
Here come Andy and Ollie. Sorry, Samantha.
I'm Tina!
No, you're me.
Oh.
Hey!
Yeah, we gotta pick up the pace. Double fist them. Go!
I don't know, Lynn. I mean, I drove, or maybe you drove. One of us drove, right?
Shut up! Drink!
Okay.
Toilet?
Hello, Jean.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Perfect. While we wait, do you want to hear about how plants will have to adapt in the future?
I would love to.
Plants are going to have to adapt to future climate changes. One of the major predicted responses is migration to areas that retain the appropriate climate. Unfortunately, several research has shown how difficult it is to accurately predict species migrations, and that the required rates of movement are likely to be higher than anything we have recorded before. In addition, Plants are likely to experience increased competition from other species, barriers from human modification of the landscape, and possibly reduced pollination due to climate-related impacts on pollinators. Predicting the areas that plants are likely to migrate into is vital for conservation planning. If areas that will support future plant populations can be identified, we can protect them before it's too late. Researchers combine climate predictions and knowledge of species characteristics to model future locations. Hopefully, we can identify small, local areas, often termed microrefugia, and protect them. These refugia are likely to be found in mountainous areas, where elevation changes and shading can impact the local climate. Agriculture will also face challenges in the future. Higher temperatures and altered growing seasons could reduce agricultural output.
Oh no, poor trees. I'll warm up this one. Finally.
Lift with your butts.
Wait, there's no bridge. Stop!
Jane?
Dad? Mom?
What's she doing in the middle of the road with the toilet?
He's more than a toilet. He's my best friend and he's dying.
Okay.
Wait, is this that guy's missing $14,000 toilet?
We need to get him to the safe zone immediately.
Well, I don't think we can ask the cab driver to...
Toilet in the taxi, sir?
I'm drunk. Hey, toilet guy!
Look, my son found your toilet.
He belongs with me, and you'll never be able to move the both of us.
You give me that toilet!
What's the problem here?
No problem, no problem.
Hey, that looks like that toilet that was reported stolen.
Yep, sure hope you figure that out.
Freeze!
Stop right there! Jane, stop yelling at the toilet.
It just sits there and takes it.